Hi guys, Squall here. Welcome to another Transport Fever 2 video in the series. The goal is to get $1 billion, done that. The goal was connect every city, we've done that. Now the goal is to just, well, make it all look cool. Connect a lot of cities, maybe we'll get to 20 billion. Who knows? We're bringing in the money. I just spent a load of money actually on landscaping some stuff. I've set some things up for today's video, which we'll go through in a minute. Now, the subject of today's video is, how can we put this? It's kind of growing pains. It's supply chain problems as the cities start to grow. It's also to deliver into the cities some of the goods that they're currently lacking. And there's some passenger problems going on as well on the left of the map, which we'll take a look at in a minute. Don't forget, if you're new to the series, hit the subscribe button because we've got some cracking episodes already done, and we've got some great ones to come as well. And don't forget to like the video if you enjoy yourself. Right, so what's actually happening here? Well, this train is carrying a load of tools. Not a full stack, but plenty of tools. They're getting dropped off here, and then the trucks merrily drive them away and drop them off in Bradford. However, all is not well in Bradford. If you click on Bradford, you'll notice that it has a huge demand for tools. I mean, this city has grown. It's grown big time. But now it can't really grow anymore. It has a supply problem with fuel. It has a supply problem with tools. It just can't get enough stuff. And we need to tackle that problem. So, the tools, let's have a look at the focus on the tools. The tools came from back here on the tool train that we're just riding along with. And if we actually look at the tool factory, we can see that, well, apart from struggling to get some wood in, it can't keep up with the demand. Everything that it's making, we're merrily transporting away. And if you look at the consumers, you can see it has three main consumers: Sandhurst, Bradford, and Logistial. Logistial is a bit of an issue. It's a small, well, it's the one that we connected in, I think the last video we connected that one. It's a ship transportation network that's taking tools all the way over there. We did it to create more demand on this because back then Sandhurst and Bradford were not as big as they are today. They weren't such thirsty beasts for tools, and it was fine. We needed a bit of extra demand. However, it's got to go. Like, literally, all the tools that this thing is making needs to go to Sandhurst and Bradford, and Logistial needs to find some tools from somewhere else. Now, this is something that just happens as your cities get bigger, which means we have to solve that problem, and solve that problem we will. The first thing, obviously, is to look around for how you're going to make new tools, where you're going to make them, how you're going to get the goods in. We'll come back to that in a second. There's another problem. Problem with Conmat. Similar issue. If we come down here and look at construction materials, we'll see that this is pretty much shipping everything it can. We've got a good supply of stone coming in. However, the consumers, again, there's two primary and then a tertiary. This thing can keep up with the demand for Twickenham and Hyde, but only just. If you look at Twickenham, Twickenham is getting a reasonable supply of construction materials. Hyde is getting not enough construction materials, and this problem is only going to get worse. At the moment, Twickenham and Hyde are not really growing, and the reason they're not really growing is because they're only exchanging passengers with each other. They're not connected to anything else yet. If we come down to Henley-on-Thames, which, if you remember, was the third consumer on the list, Henley-on-Thames is starved. It is the only way you can phrase this. It's starved of construction material. So we've got two similar problems, and they both have a related solution. Okay? What we need to do is we need to stop taking tools to Logistial, and we need to bring tools in there from somewhere else. We also need to stop taking in construction materials to Henley, and we need to bring them in from somewhere else. How is all that related? Well, it just so happens that there's a supply chain that can solve both problems. Let me explain. So over here, and you'll notice I've gouged out the land here and put some ports. You may have already spotted this, but I've put some ports down here, 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 and here. Right? Sound like one of those war veterans. Here, we're going to bomb here, 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 and here. So I've put some ports in there, right? And if you look, there's a tool factory. Just happens to make tools. Wonderful. Well, if we made tools here, well, Logistial could take them, couldn't they? It's even better than that, though. If we actually ship tools into Logistial, Logistial is not far from Twickenham. Guess what Twickenham needs? Tools. Guess what Twickenham and Old Logistial also needs? passengers. Look how passenger deprived Logistial is, right? So if we can get packs to and from Twickenham, we'll grow this city and we'll grow Twickenham. But more importantly, we can drop tools off at Logistial from the ship, and we can also train them up to Twickenham if we build a rail track between the two, which I just so happen to have made a train station with a bus and a truck depot. And over at Twickenham, I've also made a train station with a bus and a truck depot. And guess what I've done over here at Hyde? Same thing. But we won't be taking anything here apart from packs. But it then allows us to link passengers and goods here. So, how do we make tools? We make 2 tools by taking in 1 steel. How do we make steel? Well, you know how you make steel. We've already made it. But look, there's another one up here. Now, this is the alternative kind. This is the mod variant. This is the one that produces a side product. Yeah, we don't just take in iron ore and coal to produce steel. We actually produce a side product called slag, right? Slag has to be got rid of. You won't make steel if you're not moving the slag as well. So you need 2 demand chains. That's what makes this one more complicated. Well, where can we take slag to? And what does it make? Well, if you click on consumers and sort by cargo, you will see that there are 3 places on the map that take slag. One of them is here. One of them is here. And one of them is here. So, what does it produce? If you take slag or sand or marble and stone, you will produce conmat. You'll produce construction materials. So remember down here we said we couldn't bring any more conmat into Henley. We need to allow that to just go to Twickenham and Hyde. Well, this is going to be a problem solver for us, isn't it? Because if we're making steel to produce tools to take to Logistial and Twickenham, we're making slag, which we can take potentially over to here or maybe down to here. Dealer's choice, really. We can make construction materials which we can drop into the supply network. Henley-on-Thames being one of them. And also, well, Sandhurst will take construction materials quite happily as well. There's actually a few cities on the map that would quite happily take the conmat that we make by taking slag there. So the only point remains then is, well, how do we make the steel? We need iron ore and we need coal, and they are conveniently located on the sea. So look, we have 2 iron ore here, and we have 2 coal right here. I didn't make the port for that one yet, but I will. That allows us to ship the raw materials into here, make the steel, ship the steel back to there, make the tools, ship the tools up to here, train them into Twickenham, exchange passengers between the two, take the slag somewhere to make conmat, drop the conmat into Henley, remove that conmat delivery, therefore all the conmat goes that way. Hey presto, we have a fairly complex supply chain solution. So, let's crack on. So let's start at the beginning of the supply chain, which is here. We've got to make the steel first, make the steel into tools, and then we carry on. So in order to get the steel made, this is Logistial Steel Mill. We're going to need a shipping line, which we shall call I can never spell this thing. Logistial O1, okay? Logistial O1 will of course make it an orange color, and we'll might as well take the nearest one, which is this one. We'll go from here to here. Now, thinking about this port, at the moment I've got 2 platforms, but let's consider that we're going to have to bring in, when it's fully up and running at scale, we're going to have to bring in 2 lots of ore, 2 lots of coal. Then we're also going to need to ship out the slag and the steel. So at the very least, we want a port for this, a port for this, and then a port for this and this. That's at least 4 docking bays, or landing zones as the game calls them. Oh, the 757 is superb. The 757 is superb, guys. And look at this. We've now got the 777s as well. We can truly go big if we want to. We can do 777 deliveries of plastic. Imagine that. Anyway, focusing on this before I massively get distracted on planes, because, planes. Let's start to expand this, because this is not actually going to be big enough now. It thinks it's outside of navigable waters. That's fine. It's just because I have not cut away enough of this. We're going to make this into quite a long docking area, I think. So we The way this is best to work is to sculpt the land away so that it's clearly in the water. You can check here, yeah, and then you can sort of set your landing zones up, and then you can more or less bring the land back a little bit. That's generally how it works. Oh, you've been a real pain, aren't you? Outside of navigable waters. No, it's not. Hang on. I don't think it's this one the problem. I think it's this one because I've already smoothed it back. We need to do this with it, and then it should be fine, I think. Yeah, it wasn't this that was the problem. It was back here because I'd brought the land back towards to keep it flush so it looks cool. It thought it wasn't inside the navigable area anymore. But this is looks like that's maximum length. So if we want to go from there, we need to build outwards, essentially like this kind of thing. So we can do this if we want to. There's multiple ways of doing it. We could do that, and then we could have basically another one here. One there. Doesn't like that one for some reason. I think that's too much. Will that come away? No. Okay, so we've got quite a few options there. And then if you want to put the land back, just go back to the flatten tool, pick the ground somewhere here. Let me just bring the strength a bit. Pick the ground just about here and just drag along like that so that it pulls the land back. And then if you want to, you can kind of carry on a little bit and then just get the smooth tool and just kind of smooth it all down. Make it look like it was made to be there. Well, that's pretty cool. So that's given us plenty of options. Anyway, so logistial ore. We're also going to need a... Let's grab that name a second. We're going to need a logistial coal. So we'll call that coal 1. And we'll make that like a fairly lightish grey colour. And the nearest coal is actually a bit further away because the ore ones are here. But the coal one is actually down here. So this is going to take a bit longer. By the way, I just put that platform in. The platform? Dock. There we go. That's not quite dark enough, is it? Can't properly see that. To here. Oh, it's thinking about it. There we go. It had a real good think about that. So let's just check. I don't know why it crosses over like that sometimes. It's a little bit weird the way it does things. But I can see that it's bringing it into the same docking area, which is no good for us. So we'll go to 3 like that. Yeah, we've got lots of options here, haven't we? We've got 6, which is more than enough for our needs. Perfect. Right, let me smooth that out there because I can see a bit of ground issue. Might want to make this a bit wider. So, I mean, once you've got plenty of money, you can afford to just, you know, change the map that you was given. Initially, you don't have that luxury, but, you know, as time goes on, don't be afraid to just make things a little bit easier for yourself. I mean, obviously, I don't want to change the look of the map too much. I want to keep the style. But obviously, you know, wider shipping lanes kind of looks a bit cooler. It's also removed that weird crossover. And there was a little kink here. Do you see that? Which is probably solved just by deepening that out a little bit. No, doesn't like it. Rubbish. Right, so I've got oil and coal going in there. Then next thing we need to do is bring the tools out of here. Sorry, the steel out of here. And then we need to consider where's our first tool drop-off going to be. What, you know, we have options. Well, Bradford has got to be the obvious choice. It's already starved, and ultimately we want to remove this tool line here. So that's a bit of a no-brainer. We also want to link up to Logistial and start dropping off tools there. It shouldn't be difficult to drop straight into the supply chain because it's already set up to deliver tools. Same thing down here. We know that tools are coming in on the train. They're getting picked up here. So all we've got to do is change that tool route over to this side, and there's the tool drop-off there. If we just check our cargo, we can see that all this area is in fact tools. So it's not a problem to just bring a truck straight out of here and drop them into here. And we would, of course, do that by building a truck station, which we'll put just here like that. Orientation-wise, I think we'll put it in like this way. Let's do that. We'll extend that road out that way. So if we put it like, I don't know, we could put it down here maybe. Doesn't really make any difference. Within the range will do. So if we build the street now, we want a non-town street. We can then build a straight road out like that. Will it let us upgrade that one? Yes, it will. Perfectamundo. And then we click on this. This is going to have to buffer things. So we're going to want to make sure that this is quite lengthy so that it can store plenty of stuff while the trucks are waiting. We've got plenty of ground, so why not use it? We'll have 2 entrances just in case we need them. Because you never know, at some point you might want to set up 2 truck lines if the demand is there. And we'll have the trucks coming in off the road here, and maybe like we'll bring them in here just because it kind of looks cool. Then we'll get rid of the lights there because we don't need them. And then this, from here onwards, we may as well have non-buildable there, non-town road there, and then we'll change it into town road so that they can build houses here. Now, where's our entry point? That's the question. So we want to drop off on the right side, so why not come in maybe this way? We can perhaps just get rid of that road and replace it with something like that. And then if we upgrade the roads en route like this, so the truck can go past, and then maybe do this kind of thing. Entirely making this up as I go along, but, you know, why not? There we go. Lovely. So we can just basically do a loop and go back. So while we're here, actually, no, I was going to change that tool line, but I won't do that. We've got, yes, we need to set up the steel line, don't we? So we'll bring up a new line, and we'll call this, no, this isn't going to be logistial steel, is it? What's this going to be? This is going to be, yeah, logistial to Bradford steel, effectively. Logistial Bradford steel. And we could probably call that a nice kind of bluish color, maybe something like that. So we're going to take it from, say, here. Let's have a look at the number. Oh, number 1's fine. I don't mind number 1. It's got rid of it for me kindly. There we go. Click add, and then we'll bring that round to here. But that's the wrong kind of symbol. Interestingly. That's the wrong kind of symbol. Have I got the wrong... This feels like... That symbol is more of a PAX thing. In fact, that is a PAX. It should be a cargo symbol. Did I put down the wrong kind of... No, that definitely looks like a cargo harbour. So why on earth... I must have put down the wrong platform type. I've got a feeling I have, you know. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to delete these and put them back. That was definitely... There we go. Yeah, mistakes were made. Good job I spotted that. I just looked at the symbol and thought, hang on a minute. Blokes with a briefcase? What's going on here? Right, steel is done. So let's set up that line. Or rather, we'll set up the line, buy some ships. So where's the shipyard? All the way up here. Blimey. I begin to think we wouldn't mind a shipyard down here somewhere. Might be handy. Why don't we build one down here? Somewhere a little bit closer. Let's see, what if we do it like that? There we go. Right, so what do we want to go for? Well, we want large. We definitely want to go large. Axle P and the Viola. The Viola is a great ship, but it only carries liquids, really. Same with this oil tanker one. Axle P is definitely a fantastic one. The Vandal isn't quite as quick, but it is cheap to run. Only carries liquid. So really, at this stage, it has to be Axle P. We're on 1984. I would expect to see some new vehicles arriving pretty soon, particularly on the ship front, I think. So we'll buy 2 of these for now. And what we'll do is we'll assign one of them onto the ore line. And we'll assign the other one onto the coal line. Now, I'm going to make sure the game's on a bit sped up because the money's going to start to fly up because I'm speeding up the game. But when you deal with ships, it takes so long, and I'm making a video for you guys. We need to get this thing moving. So we'll let those things get spawning. You can see it's already creating a lot of stuff. We also need to have a ship for the steel, but there's no point until this guy has got, well, all the way down here. So it's going to take him some time to do that. While he's on the move, we'll create some more ships in a minute. I want to talk about the slag side of things, because remember, we have 3 options on the map for where to go to. We could go all the way down here. There was one right up north there somewhere. I can't remember what it was. And there was another one over here. Observant people among you may have noticed that I've put a platform, a train station here with 3 tracks, and probably wondering what I'm up to. Well, you remember when we built this train line here, and I put a whole bunch of track in there, and I said to you, I'm going to put a load of track in here. I don't know what we're going to use it for, but I feel confident that at some point we're going to want to start bringing things across here, and we've got this wonderful bridge that we might want to use later. Well, guess what? Now we're going to use it, because if we're going to produce slag here, and we've got a port there connected to this train station, and that we need to take slag to there, it's a very, very obvious gambit to just ship it from here to here, then take it on a train and drop it off there. That will then produce the construction material we need. We can then drop it off in Henley-on-Thames straight away, and then disconnect this Conmat line here. So the way that we're going to get Conmat into here, we've one of 2 ways of doing it, really. We could either just ship it to here. Train it to here. That's not going to work. We could truck it to here and then let the existing trucks pick it up and move it to here. Or we can just reassign the trucks and pick it up from there instead of here, which is what we're going to do. So if we just look at the actual pickup zone, the drop-off zone. The drop-off zone is currently assigned to there, which I think may or may not work in the future. It might want to be here. I don't know. That will probably move as the Conmat build grows. Once we start dropping in construction materials, this district will expand. You'll see a lot more of the industrial side of things. It might grow out like that, or it could go this way. It's hard to tell. But you do sometimes have to keep adjusting the truck stop drop-off point, because it's wrong. I've already had to do it on a couple of our cities. But the point is that what we want to do is we want to have this thing able to drop stuff off. So we want a cargo station on this side, which has me slightly worried, because then it limits the width of the train station. So what I'm going to do is just add... It's auto-saving. I'm just going to add some more track, and then we can add a platform that we don't potentially need. We're never going to need passengers here, so it's just going to be a cargo like that, and then we'll add, a nice large cargo building maybe on this side, maybe put it in the middle. Oh no, let's put it down here just to be different. And then we'll have a couple like that, and then we'll have a few of these things, just because it looks cool. And then we'll have a non-town street which passes it, like this. Let's say it goes to like here. And then we want to bring in the trucks to there. So now, effectively what we can do is curve that in, then switch to a town, and we'll bring it in something like that. And that's a pretty direct road. Then the only consideration is how they get back. They could just drive back the same way. What they'll probably do, if they're going to drop here, they'll probably drive that way. So it's probably worth upgrading that road there now, just to make sure the trucks have a bus lane to get back up. Last thing we need, of course, is a truck station, a drop-off point. So we'll build that opposite the actual cargo area. Configure. Now this is going to have to buffer, because the output of that, if I actually, this may not reach from here to here. Thinking about this, we've done this before, remember? We have in fact done this before, and the range of that may not cut across. So what we might have to do is we'll just build that road a little bit longer. We need to keep the distance from here to the truck station as short as possible. We don't want it sort of... If you can see there's little connections here. There's a connection through there, and then across here. So that's quite a distance. I'm thinking if we have it over here, it might make it shorter. So we'll just build maybe like there. and then just put some more pointless stuff in, just because it looks cool. And then we'll drag this road out a little bit. And this is the realms of guesswork now, because it's hard to tell how long that connection is. But I hope it should be okay. Let's have a go. We'll just put it down and then figure it. Let's just see if it works. Bring our one way in. And then we click on that. It doesn't connect. Oh, that's so painful. Right, so how far away is it? That's the question. And the answer is we don't know. We can see it's about here. There it is. You see the limit there? So it's desperately close to reaching. But the line is there. So what we might be able to do is we might be able to bring possibly something this way. There you go. If we can get a connection there, bring that into there like that, maybe that will trick it. Oh, it's so close. It really is. You can see there's a pathway through there now. So, it's only got a breach here. So I think what we'll do is we'll drop that. And we'll just push it in as close as we can. And see if that works. Yes, that works. Okay, so that's fine. How much can we get away with? Maybe there. This is the one thing I don't like, by the way, guys, is the guesswork of this. It is a bit annoying. But unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. Okay, it's not happy with that currently. So it really is on the edge. Okay, fine. We'll just push it there like that and be done with it. Get rid of that. Drop that in. And we've unlocked what looks like a tram. Looks like a very big tram, actually. Okay, right. Is that connected? Yes. The important thing is you click on the truck station and the actual factory lights up, because it will not send cargo to here and to here. It will only send it direct. So it has to be in that invisible magic radius, of which it gives you no tools to sort of work out. But it is what it is. Let's put that in there. Let's drag this road. Should we do it like that? No, it's not going to work. Should we do it from here? Yeah, that works. Don't forget your waypoints. Okay. We have a reasonable plan. Let's quickly jump back now. Have a look what's going on here. It's now got iron ore. Of course it has. We shall duplicate that now. Now, where's the coal ship? Have you got coal? Okay, I refuse to believe you're on your way down for the first time. Yeah, we've transported stuff. We have definitely transported stuff, which means we've made steel. Which means the steel has gone nowhere because we haven't put a steel ship out yet. So we'll buy a Axel P. Sounds like a Harold Faltermeyer song. And we'll put it on the Logistial Bradford steel run. So that ship will now engage, and therefore this will stop throwing steel away, and we'll actually start to assign it to a platform. Just to see where it actually went to. That's fine. We should start to see steel build up there once coal comes back in. The steel will go to here, which will create tools. So the next thing we need to do now is, this is where we're going to take a little bit of a hit, because what we're going to do is look for this truck tool run and stop effectively picking it up from here and switch it over to here. So we're going to stop picking it up from Bradford on Avon East, and instead we're going to go to this thing. Like that. Now we need to get rid of these waypoints because they're going to be utter rubbish. Let's see where we're dropping off. We're dropping off to... Okay, that's really messed up. Doesn't like that at all, does it? That's very strange. I tell you what, let's just get rid of both of them and recreate the line. Because I'm not entirely sure why that is doing what it's doing. Oh, I know why. It's because I did not create an exit road, which is rather stupid of me. There we go. Okay, so now we've got that. Let me just slow it down a touch. Are we happy with that loop? It's not ideal, is it? Can we do anything better? I don't think we have the space, if I'm honest. No, we do. Now that looks like a roundabout. That's quite funky. Although it would have done with the bus lane. Yeah. Now it's like a triangular roundabout. It's kind of cool. Just drops off tools right in the middle of this weird roundabout. Yeah. Okay. So, let's get the coal. Where's the coal ship's gone? Okay, he's full of coal. I want to get another one on there. Because these guys have got a long way to run compared to that iron ore. Condition of ship 3 is very poor. Doesn't matter. Emissions at sea don't really make a difference in this game, so we're not going to worry about that. But yeah, as you can see, the coal is really starting to pile up here. So, in theory, we should be saying wait till full. In practice, I don't think we'll need to, but we'll do it anyway. Full load, but we'll only wait like a couple of minutes. Like that. Same thing here. So you went for this one. Logistial ore. You get some Bradford on Avon Port. Load till full. Wait for like 20 seconds. Okay, so it's starting to move stuff nicely. They haven't got any coal yet. Let's just speed that up. Is that coal? No, that's all. Okay, we've been a bit unlucky with the timing. While it's doing that, because that should now end-to-end set up, while it's doing that, we're just going to quickly jump over and start bringing in some track here. Now, what we're going to do, I'll flatten this ground here, so we're going to take one of these lines. Now, the line we're going to take, we could take one of these. It doesn't really matter, but I'm going to save these for through tracks, should we need them. I don't know if we will, so I'm just going to take it from there. We're going to see what happens. We want to come to, what is it, here, which means we want to kind of come this way. So more or less like that is where we want to be going. And we know we want to have a track going that way because we're making, we've got Henley-on-Thames here. If we want to take packs from here to there, we're going to want to go through this station to do it, to get to here. So we want to keep this inside so that those packs can go out that way if they want to. So the packs is going to be over this side, although we're going to have to reconfigure some... Actually, no, we don't need to reconfigure platforms. They're going straight through from here. Where's the packs? There's my new packs tracks. Packs tracks? Here. So we're going to take that to there. And that one will go... We'll take it to about here, and then we'll branch it off like that. Which stops us having a diamond there at this point. We'll have to put the diamond here. If you want to make that crossover, it'll have to be like before you get to the station. Like that. It just means you've got a longer run before the signals are cleared. But other than that, straight through there, and then off they go. Which means these are the cargo we're going to use. So we'll take... Let's take that one. Join it like that. And then we will go this side. Until we get to close to the platform. And then we'll just come out. Oh, doesn't like that. Lovely. Looks good. So, obviously that is a slow track at the moment. It really doesn't matter, but we'll just upgrade it so it just looks, you know, the part. But it won't need to be high speed. So that will allow us to bring the slag down to here, because don't forget we're not doing anything with that slag right now. So the steel that's being produced is going here, but we need to start shipping the slag. So this is logistial to... let's just call it logistial slag, shall we? I don't think we'll need more than one ship on this, even when it scales up. Logistial slag. And then we'll have it as... if I had a brownish colour, there you go, nice dirty brown colour. Go from there to there. Don't think we want to go from there, do we? No, I think maybe... you can go from 6, actually. Go from 6. And then this can come over... maybe come round the other side. Maybe go into 1 like that. Yeah. Let's build a ship. We may as well take it out of this yard. Again, a nice axle P. Slag. That's going to bring the slag to here. Now we need to bring the slag to here. So this is going to be Logistial to Henley on a rail line. And this is a one-way trip, unfortunately. That can be like a yellowish, maybe. So it's going to go from there to there. Now, there's no point really leaving Logistial unless you're full, so we may as well tell it to wait, because a ship can take a while. So we'll tell it to wait for 3 minutes and then move. But it'll need to be a big train so that when it does drop off stuff, it gives it a good supply, because that ship's going to bring in a lot of stuff, right? In fact, we can just have a quick look how much it brings in. Which one is it? That one? No? That one. 220. So our train ideally needs to be of the realms of 220 big. In order to have enough material so that when the train goes back, waits for another shipload, etc. Might end up with 2 on there, 2 ships. It depends how it goes. We'll just have to tweak it as we go along. So what we'll do is we'll signal up this thing with 1 way. We'll come from here. And that's reasonably close to there. That's fine. Do that. And then we will need to put some kind of a depot in there. So we'll put it here out the way. Thanks, autosave. And then we'll just bring it in just before that signal, just to make life easy. Drop a signal in there and there. Now, we need to have... it's going to be a gondola, I think, for the slag, is it? Yeah, should be. There you go, slag. So we want to have 220 capacity, I think we said. We have 320 meter platform at one end. I'm not sure what it was like back at the other end, but if we have a 240 meter, you know, even that, which is too long for the platform, only just takes what the ship can bring in. Only just. So we'll probably go with something like that, and then we'll bring in, let's say, speed. Let's bring in the BR218. Yeah, it's got to go as fast and quick as possible, really. So we'll do that. Actually, I think we coloured it a dirty yellow, didn't we? There we go. Okay, so off it goes. Right, are we started to move anything out of here yet? Wow, look at the iron ore. Like, insane amounts of iron ore has turned up. Looks like steel is shipping. The slag is now shipping, so that's good. So let's see what's going on over here. It's now starting to get some steel in, so it's making tools, and tools are now arriving at Bradford, which is great news for Bradford. What it does mean is that this train here, which is now dropping off tools, this entire line can just go. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell that, and we are going to manage that line, Sandhurst Bradford Tools, and we're going to get rid of it. So that line is now gone. That's now removed the demand that this had. There it goes. So now it will just fade away on Bradford, and Sandhurst and Logistial will pick up the rest of the stuff. Bradford's not going to get any anymore. Poor Bradford. That's scaled down quite a bit on tools, isn't it? Interestingly. Looks like Sandhurst is going to get it all. Blimey. Actually, I mean, Sandhurst needs 500. Blimey. I think this... Yeah, it can only ship 800 maximum. So production's scaling back. That's fine. It's going to find its new level. We'll keep our eye on that. We'll keep our eye on that particular production chain. We're going to be sending things... We're already sending things to Logistial at the moment via this shipping route, which we're going to change to this. If we end up with more tools than we have got demand for, there's still places we can take them to. Obviously, Henley will take tools quite happily, so we've got a train here. We can either ship tools from here and drop them off there and have Henley get tools as well. You know, that's one way of doing it. As well as getting his con mat, he can then get tools from us. So we can pick up the demand if we need to. So we'll see how it goes. Next thing we need to do, of course, is look at this thing. Because it's going to get slag in shortly, which means it's going to start needing to move con mat. So if we take this and reassign it from Henley Annex to this point here, and when it gets there, it can wait till full. Because it might have to wait for a while. There's no point sending trucks into town without any stuff. So, they now get the stuff. What's the route like? Route looks good. Which means this Conmat line here, Henley Conmat, this one, we can now sell that vehicle. Oh, these are good. These are really good. The bi-level trains, they are so nice. We'll come to those. Probably the next episode we'll have to deal with those. And we'll get rid of the Henley Conmat now. Which means this is now free to stop focusing on Henley and just focus on Twickenham Hyde. It'll have its work cut out, but like I say, you will see the demand come down a little bit. But over time, blimey. I've got so many... Probably going to need another one on there just to shift all of that now. Yeah, because that is the only way to get materials. And to be fair, it is quite a long run, so we'll check them an extra train and see how they get on. Whew, bit of a whistle stop this one, guys. Sorry I'm rushing a little bit, but there is stupid amounts to do. Hopefully you've got the idea now of what we've been doing. We've now got the slag going, which means we should start making the conmat. And the conmats should start to arrive at Henley fairly soon, because the slag will arrive over here fairly soon. There you go. It started to make stuff. It's realised that Henley is now a consumer, so we're now consuming slag and making materials from it. We're consuming steel, and we're making tools from that, and all is good. We have basically implemented what we wanted to do. In the next episode, what we'll do is we'll refine this. We'll tweak this tool setup. We will take tools up to Logistial from here. We will then implement our passenger network and connect these up, because they're doing really badly, particularly Logistial. Look at the PAX numbers and Henley, which is actually stunting growth. It really is. Nobody in Henley can go anywhere right now, and we're going to sort that out in the next episode. So give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, guys. Take care. Until the next one, happy transporting.